Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Welcome into the Steelers Talk Live Show. I am your host, Jack Sperry. That is producer Jeffrey Cooperstein. We are here to talk about the latest Steelers news and rumors of the day here. Victory Monday, the second one of the 2024 season, Coop, after a 13-6 win over the Denver Broncos yesterday. It was a lot of fun on the watch party. For all of you guys that are watching now that were on the watch party, thank you so much for watching with us. We got a bunch of great stuff coming your way here on Steelers Talk Live on a Monday. First up, the latest Steelers news and rumors. Steelers got some good news heading into week 3, so I will let you guys know what that good news is. And then also, we have some trade rumors surrounding Russell Wilson and John Metchie. So we got some juicy stuff on news and rumors today. And then we get into my week 3 preview versus the Chargers. We'll be breaking down the Chargers, their key players, what they do schematically, keys to victory for the Steelers. We got Justin Herbert scouting report. And of course, I have my official score prediction heading into the week. So we got a bunch of great stuff to cover on today's show. Here's our live schedule. So if you're watching us right now and you want to join us for our live shows all throughout this week, of course, we're live right now. We go live Monday and Thursday every single week. That's the Steelers play on a Sunday. 5:30 p.m. Eastern time is our start time, so we will be back on Thursday for our Thursday live show. Probably going to play some Madden again. It seemed like you guys really like the Madden stuff this week or last week on Thursday, so we'll probably do that again on Thursday. And then on Sunday, we are back at our normal 12 p.m. Eastern time start time as the Steelers will play the Los Angeles Chargers at home in their home opener here in week 3.
You know what? Not everyone can be 2-0. Not everyone can be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Especially not the Baltimore Ravens and Cincinnati Bengals, who are sitting at 0-2, baby.
They are winless, baby. And then the Browns needed a miracle from Deshaun Watson to win that game.
Well, they needed, let's face it, Trevor Lawrence handed them that victory yesterday. He was awful yesterday.
He was terrible.
So,
if I'm the Steelers right now, man, I'm feeling really good about where you're sitting. Usually,
me too. Defense is the best in the league right now, in my opinion.
I agree. And then statistically, when you start out 2-0, it's over 70% that you make the playoffs?
It's a little bit under 70%. It's like 68, 69. It's still pretty darn good chance for you to make the postseason. And if you win this week against the Chargers, if you go 3-0, the chances jump up even more. Yes. All right. So if the Steelers win this week, we're probably looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers as a playoff team in 2024. Before we get into our Steelers content today, guys, let's have a word from our sponsors here first from Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. It's one word, all caps. Chat Sports right down there in the bottom right of your screen for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply against just for that first purchase. Create an account with Game Time or redeem code Chat Sports, one word all caps, Chat Sports for $20 off that first purchase. Download game. Goodness gracious! Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. And then the other sponsor on today's edition of Steelers Talk Live is Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you just play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. Monday Night Football tonight. It's a great time to get started. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. So, guys, here's our donation menu for the day. You guys know that we appreciate everybody that watches this program, all right? Whether you donate, whether you don't donate, doesn't really matter, man. If you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and you want to support our channel, I mean, we love you guys, plain and simply, okay? But if you want to help support the channel, we do appreciate any donation that you guys send in via Super Chat, via Venmo, via Cashapp, or via PayPal. Any donation is going to get a shout-out. We're going to give you guys some love. If you're going to spend any of your hard-earned money on our show, the least we can do is show you guys some love. $10, we'll do some shots for you guys today. $20, get your name on the Steelers Talk mystery box. There's a special Steelers item in here. It could be a jersey, could be a mini helmet, could be something else.
Barry hasn't even told me what it is.
And I haven't even told Coop what it is, all right? Only I know what is in this box right now. Somebody's going to win that in a raffle at the end of the month. So if you want a chance to win the mystery box this month, $20 plus everybody that enters is going to get their name on the mystery box as well. $100 will bang for you, pause, and you get to get rid of the Good Samaritan. We don't have any we don't have any raffle entries today. But then $500, we bring out the Steelers Talk Gong, the Platinum 666 and Kurgan Cold Gong here, and then we give away a black diamond if somebody hits the 500 today. So I appreciate your guys' support. Now, I do want to say that we appreciate Venmo, Cashapp, and PayPal just a little bit more than Super Chat. You know, I won't say no to any Super Chat that comes in. I'm not trying to say don't Super Chat if that's the only way you guys can donate to the show. But if you can Venmo, if you can Cash App, if you can PayPal, we do prefer those channels because YouTube takes 30% of every single dollar you spend via Super Chat. So if you send that money to Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, more of your donation dollars goes to us for us to use on our channel and our business, all right? So if you want to send a donation in to Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, you can find me here. You guys can take a screenshot of your phone if you're watching us on mobile at Jack Sperry on Venmo, Captain Jack 19 on Cash App, and then at Captain Jack Rabbit on PayPal. Before we get into the Steelers content today, I do want to give a shout out to all of our Black Diamonds in the chat right now. What you get if you're a Black Diamond is you get a brand new Steelers jersey that we bring to our office here that we wear on the watch parties. You get your own retired number. You get your name on the back of the jerseys. Plus, you get a shout-out on every show, and you get one of these lovely Super Chat stickers that goes next to your Super Chats and your Venmo donations for life. I still need to get to some of these stickers, so F. Sperry in the chat, but I appreciate all of the real ones that spend their time, spend their money on this channel. It's $500 to join Black Diamond Club, but if I know anything about Platinum 666 and Kurgan Cold, these guys definitely like to donate Black Diamonds, and we give Black Diamonds pretty much for free to the people that watch our show regularly, all right? So if you watch the show every single day that we are live, if you're watching the watch parties, if you're supporting the Steelers and supporting Steelers Talk, the chances that you're eventually going to be a Black Diamond are pretty darn high. So type me in the chat if you're a real one and have clicked that thumbs up icon. I want to say here, we got a great crew of Yinzers already. Already 250 people watching around the world. So spam those me's, man. We got 44 people that have liked the video. We need to get that up to 60 likes before we get into the first segment. Shout out to Nico.
Love this video.
Here's the all right, Coop, I need you to love this play. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers fan 8 is in the chat. Daily Dose of Steel is here. We got Herrick. We got Dr. Luke. We got Rob Nelson. We got Lando. We got J.K. Bradley. We got Ashton. We got Ollie the Reaper. We got Kevin Reed. We got Cameron. We got Mike. We got Jason. We got the Holdster. We got Kurt Crater. We got Paranormal in the Funhouse here. We got Steelers Dad. We got Alex Manerful. We got Julius. We got Jason L. Let's go, man. Keep it going. We got Pat Lepla. Click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. Thank you for watching Steelers Talk and spending part of your day with us here on Victory Monday. Coming up next, latest Steelers news and rumors for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Got some good news today to share with you guys, so can't wait to share that with you. Then also, Week 3 preview versus the Chargers. Steelers are 2-0. Chargers are 2-0. Can the Steelers get to 3-0 with a win in their home opener against LA and Jim Harbaugh? I'm going to give the answer to that at the end of today's show, so make sure you guys stick around. But in the meantime, let's get into the latest Steelers news and rumors. Welcome into Steelers Talk. I'm your host, Jack Sperry, and today we're covering the latest news and rumors surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers, starting off with Russell Wilson trade rumors here that have started to spark up here ever since the discussion around Justin Fields potentially becoming the full-time starter here in Pittsburgh have come up. We'll talk about that. Then we'll get into John Metchie and whether he is still in play for the Steelers to go out and trade for after he was a healthy scratch for the Houston Texans in Week 2 versus the Chicago Bears. We'll talk about that in our second segment today, and make sure you guys stay tuned for some good news that the Pittsburgh Steelers received improved here heading into week 3. So if you want to see what that good news is, make sure you stick around to the end of today's show. So first up here, I want to have a little bit of an ask here, guys. All right, I want you to click that thumbs up icon so that we can beat our frenemies here at Chat Sports. We have multiple channels, as you guys know, and our channel for the Ravens is called the Ravens Rundown, which got their highest like total on any video in the history of their channel yesterday, 969. A new Ravens host, Joey Peterson, who many of you guys know is a kind of a stand-in producer here on Steelers previously. He's feeling pretty darn good about that 969 number. I think we can beat him right now. So here's what Joey Peterson told me earlier today. I'm not worried about the Ravens at all. They're clearly the best team in the division this year. If the refs don't screw us, no one would even care about the Steelers' 2-0 start today. With all due respect to Steelers Nation, they can't handle the flock. Go Ravens. Good luck beating us in this like battle today. So I said, bet. I think Steelers Nation can easily get 1,000 likes on this video. So if you want to put Joey Peterson in his place right now, click that thumbs up icon to kick off today's show. Okay, now let's talk about Russell Wilson here, because I do think that the chances that Russell Wilson gets traded away from the Pittsburgh Steelers before the trade deadline are not zero at this point, because Justin Fields is doing a good job. He is completing nearly 70% of his passes. He hasn't thrown an interception, right? He is 2-0 as the starter of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and if it wasn't for some penalty issues, if maybe he had another good receiver on the field, I really do think that Justin Fields would probably get this offense to 20-plus points if all those things were going right and the offense was staying on schedule and all these different things. And if Fields gets named QB1, especially if they get that victory over the Los Angeles Chargers this week in Week 3, and you're starting out 3-0 to start the year, I mean, I just think that I think that Fields is going to be named QB1, and in that case, Russell Wilson is still going to want to start somewhere. He's going to want to get traded. Now, he does have a no-trade clause in his contract, but listen, in the event that Fields is named the full-time starter, he's going to want to get traded. He might even ask to be traded formally so that he can have a chance to resurrect his NFL career with a different NFL team that needs a quarterback. So here are some potential options. The New York Giants, obviously Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito. I don't think any of those options are going to work for the New York Giants. Brian Dable and Joe Shane's jobs might be on the line, so they might get a little desperate here and give maybe even an early day 3 draft pick to the Steelers in exchange for Russell Wilson. The Las Vegas Raiders are another team. Antonio Pierce was an interim head coach last year. He's kind of unproven. His job could be on the line. That offense has been awful to start this season. Then the Miami Dolphins, depending on how long Tua Tagovailoa is out of the lineup for them. They did sign Tyler Huntley today, but who knows, that could be an option if Tua is going to miss an extended period of time this season. And obviously, that's a situation that I think Russ would probably like to go in there with Mike McDaniel from the Kyle Shanahan tree. So what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comments section. What is the percent chance that Russ gets traded this year? Put it on a scale of 0 to 100 for me. 0 meaning no chance he gets traded, to 100 meaning there's a 100% chance he's definitely getting traded. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, take advantage of that time. But let me know the likelihood that Russ gets traded this year. Now, this might be crazy, guys. I'm going to go with 50%, all right, because I think that the chances that Fields eventually takes over as the full-time starting quarterback by the trade deadline are relatively significant at this point. The team is winning. I think that he is playing relatively efficient football, right? He has never completed passes at the rate that he is completing them right now. He has never protected the football in the way that he is protecting them. He is really doing a good job targeting downfield, especially to George Pickens. And if Roman Wilson comes back and he's a really good player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're going to have 2 legitimate receiving weapons that can separate down the field for Fields to take advantage of here. So if that's the case, I think Russ wants out, and I do think that he would accept a trade to a team like the New York Giants, the Las Vegas Raiders, or the Miami Dolphins to give him one last shot to be a full-time starter for an NFL franchise before, if he's going to be demoted to backup status, and I think that means retirement for Russell Wilson. So now let's shift over to John Metchie here, who obviously this fan base has talked a lot about here. Even going back to the Brandon Ayuk saga, there's been people that have been on the John Metchie train even while Brandon Ayuk was still available for the Steelers to go get. They say, I'd rather have John Metchie. He's cheaper, all these different things, and I certainly understand that perspective. And he was a healthy scratch in week 2 for the Houston Texans, indicating that he's further down the depth chart than guys like Robert Woods, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, and, of course, Nico Collins. And if I'm Steelers GM Omar Khan, I am making that call to Houston right now, all right? Based on what we've seen from the Steelers wide receivers at this point, it has been horrendous, all right? 5 catches for just 28 yards in those 2 games for all receivers on the Steelers team not named George Pickens. Now, Pat Freiermuth has had some nice catches, picked up some first downs as well. He's probably your number 2 receiving target right now, but the Steelers are desperate for a number 2 wide receiver right now. I think John Metchie right now would probably be the number 2 receiver on the Pittsburgh Steelers roster, and because he's so far down on the Texans depth chart right now, I don't think he would cost too much. He's an unproven receiver. He's an unproven entity, so I think that this would be a fair deal for both sides. If the Texans want to get an extra draft pick, maybe it's a 4th-round pick at the very most, but let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Are you trading a 5th-round pick for John Metchie to be your number 2 receiver this year and moving forward? Type A if you would accept it, or type D if you're going to decline it. In just a second here, I'm going to be talking about our friends at Game Time. While I'm talking about Game Time, let me know your answer to this question down there in the comments section. And with that, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Game Time, which is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. And folks, we all know that watching a Steelers game, especially at Acrisure Stadium, is unlike anything you can get from watching the Steelers game on your couch. So if you want to go see more Steelers games this year, you can check out the new feature on the Game Time app called Game Time Picks, which filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't waste time searching through thousands of tickets. So here's how it works. You go on the Game Time app, you find an event you want to go to. Let's go to the season or to the home opener this weekend against the Chargers. You go into that game, you select Game Time Picks, and it automatically filters all the tickets in their database for that game into a special algorithm to show you the best deals on the best seats. It's absolutely phenomenal. With this, you don't have to do your own research, going up to a bunch of different ticketing apps, and you don't even have to do the research on the Game Time app itself. Game Time Picks allows you to just get it done that easily. It does the work for you, so you can just get your tickets and get out. What I love about using the Game Time app is that you get the lowest price guarantee on any ticket to any event, all-in pricing so you don't get slapped with crazy fees at checkout, and flash deals so you can get even cheaper tickets the closer you wait to game time. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Again, terms apply. It's just for that first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. So now I kind of teased the good news heading into week 3 here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what that good news is I do think that Roman Wilson is on the track to play in week 3, and it couldn't come at a better time. Like I said, through the first 2 weeks of the NFL season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's been George Pickens, it's been Pat Freiermuth, kind of, and it's been nobody else for the Steelers in terms of receiving. They are in desperate need of a wide receiver too, and it's a lot of pressure to put on a rookie a wide receiver that was drafted in the 3rd round to immediately be your number 2 receiver and be an impact player. But I think that with the play style of Justin Fields, with what they're going to ask Roman Wilson to do, he's going to be asked to catch some footballs and help out George Pickens. Right now, that's what the Steelers need because, listen, man, 28 yards and 5 catches from the rest of your receiving core. I kind of like some of the things that Calvin Austin III does. I was willing to give Van Jefferson a try. They tried feeding him a little bit more in week 2, but he only ended up with 2 catches. I think Roman Wilson has the ability, and we know the track record that the Steelers have in drafting these receivers, especially in the middle to late rounds. It's very good, right? So I believe in Roman Wilson. I think he fits what Arthur Smith and Mike Tomlin want from a number 2 receiver in this offense. And I think that Roman's ability to win deep definitely fits with Justin Fields' skill set, all right? We see it with a guy like George Pickens, who's able to separate down the field and how successful he has been. Roman Wilson, his thing is getting open deep down the field, all right? On deep crossers and doing all these things they did at Michigan. I think he's going to be asked to do a similar type of thing here at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And now that he's close to fully healthy, and he almost played in week 2, didn't end up playing, but it sounds like he is going to be ready to go for week 3. He could be a huge X factor for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and getting this guy in the lineup is definitely good news for this football team. Not to mention, guys, I haven't even mentioned this. Roman Wilson blocks his ass off, man. Like, his philosophy is no block, no rock. And that's kind of like a pause moment for me right there. It's like, what do you really mean by that, Roman? But at the end of the day, it means you have to block to get the football. And I love that mentality. That is so Pittsburgh Steelers. That is so a culture fit. And I just think that, with Van Jefferson struggling with the run blocking aspect of things as the current wide receiver too, getting a guy like Roman in here that Arthur Smith has said can play outside and inside. I think that ability to get open down the field and then block his butt off in the run game is really going to be two things that really add another element of spice and another level of competency for this Steelers offense heading into week 3 and beyond. So let me know down there in the comments section, what's your confidence level in Roman Wilson leading or heading into week 3 versus the Chargers? Put it on a scale of 1 to 10 for me, 1 being not confident whatsoever, super shaky, to 10 being I got so much confidence in Roman Wilson. He's going to be awesome from the word go. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. And if you enjoyed today's video here on Steelers Talk, we got more content coming your way throughout the week. Daily Steelers videos breaking down the latest surrounding the black and gold, breaking news coverage. Like if Mike Tomlin announces Justin Fields as the first full-time starter, we're going to have a video for you guys. We might even go live for that. That's a pretty big news story right there. Also, speaking of live shows, we go live twice a week during the week and then once on the weekend for Steelers games. It's all 100% free. We're super close to 60,000 subscribers. We are currently the largest individually run Steelers news channel here on the YouTube platform. That's for a reason, guys. So if you love Steelers content and you want the best there is when it comes to the black and gold and the coverage around this team, make sure you click that subscribe button right now. All right, so we got some super chats rolling in. First time super chat from the Holdster. Says, no better way to spend my birthday than watching Chat Sports Steelers. First time super chat. Let's give him some Rick Flair drip. And of course, it's the Holdster's birthday, so let's give him some a birthday tune here, Coop. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear the Holdster. Happy birthday to you. Let's go, the Holdster. Get those happy birthdays in the chat. Coop, give some love to the people spamming happy birthday in the chat. I got a Cashapp that I need to send your way.
Okay, I see Brock Walker, Pittsburgh Steelers fan 8, J.K. Bradley, all the real ones that are joining us. We got 365 people watching us right now.
Just sent that Cash App to you, by the way. If you're just joining us, if you guys didn't see earlier, you guys can send a donation via Super Chat, Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal if you want to throw that up real quick, Coop. We do have $10 shots today, $20. You get your name on the mystery box here. You get into the raffle to win the item inside the mystery box for this month. 100, we bang for you, pause. 500, we hit the gong. So I really do appreciate all of the people that spend their hard-earned money on this show. It's not required by any stretch of the imagination. I know especially in today's economy, if you guys spend money on a YouTube show, that's a lot, right? And I completely understand that, man. So anybody that's in the chat, really do appreciate you. If you spend some money on here, definitely appreciate you. It's definitely not required, but we definitely do appreciate it. Every single dollar, by the way, goes towards making new Steelers content, all right? So it goes towards new office space, new equipment, improving our graphics, all that great stuff. We've been able to do a bunch of stuff here over the last several months because we have done such a great job here on Steelers Talk. So if you guys want to send in a donation, absolutely fantastic. But if not, it's not a big deal. So we do have, oh, baby, just got a Venmo.
Oh, mama.
Oh, mama is right, because here it is.
Okay.
Coop's trying to hold in his excitement. Do have a Venmo alert. So first one here, coming in from my man, J.K. Bradley.
JKB.
$5 Venmo. Everybody spam those JKs in the chat. JK getting the party going here. What's that?
Did he have a message?
It's Cashapp, so I actually can't see messages on Cashapp.
What?
Oh, he says, for glad to be off work, time to chill with Steelers fam. That's
Let's
right,
go.
J.K. Bradley. I appreciate you, my man. Thanks for spending part of your Victory Monday with us here at Steelers Talk. We got Dawson in the chat. Daily Dose of Steel. Pittsburgh Steelers Fan 8. Father Dismas Sayer is here. We got Platinum 666. We got Alex Manorful in here. We've got Steelers Dad. We got Hot Rod 24. David Green.
Wait. I think you got to get something.
So I got to get something, and we just celebrated. We just sang happy birthday.
We did.
To my man, and somebody else wants to say happy birthday too.
We're celebrating a win.
Because this one's rolling in from Platinum 666. Bang! 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 Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Platinum 666 with a $500 Venmo. And he says, he sends a message. Says, happy birthday, Holdster. Black Diamond for you. Woo! And Kupo's 10 shots. What?
10?
I mean, I'll take half. I don't think he wants me to take half.
You can take 3 of them, and I'll take 7.
All right, Coop will take 7 shots.
All
I'll take 3 shots of the fake tequila.
Let me go get our drinking apparatus.
so guess what? Holdster, you are now a Black Diamond member, courtesy of Platinum 666. Everybody spam those 666s in the chat. Let's go, man. That's great stuff, Platinum. Giving out the birthday Black Diamonds. You got to love it. The Holdster. You got to love it. So Coop's going to go get the shot glasses. So coming up here, we do have the Week 3 preview. I'll be breaking down the Chargers key players, offense and defense. We'll be going over keys to victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers. My final score prediction, Justin Herbert, full scouting report. So don't go anywhere, guys. Get those 666s in the chat while we get the shots ready to go. We got Cassie in the chat. We got Nothing. We've got Derek Smith. We got Hot Rod 24, Pittsburgh Steelers Fan 8, Shane Bowen, or Shane Brown, I should say. What's that? Yeah, we actually got our studio today, which is nice. All right, so look, come on now. Coop's giving me the rainbow shot glass here. Nothing's wrong with that. I don't like Hawaii. I'm just joking. I love Hawaii. Who doesn't like Hawaii? I thought that was an obvious joke. All right, here we go. I'm taking 3. Coop's taking 7. So here's 3.
Oh, brother.
Oh, I filled that one up way too much. All right, number 2. Last one here.
Oh, man. We may have to space these out.
Coop, take 4 now, and then you'll do 3 after the cut. Because I don't want Coop just blasted.
I'll tell you what, if I took all 7
I don't want Coop blasted for this cut.
The graphics would all be going everywhere.
All right, let's go. Appreciate Platinum 666 with a $500 Venmo.
it's water for, or it's not water. It's fake tequila for Sperry.
So I have fake tequila.
It's a mocktail for Sperry.
So yeah, it's a mocktail. It's like mocktail tequila, which actually tastes worse.
Straight tequila, homeboy. This is real shit.
It tastes terrible, man. All right, get him down, Coop.
This is number 3.
Wait, you've already taken 2? Did you do them on camera?
Yeah.
All right. You guys hold him accountable now.
Go back and look.
You guys hold him accountable. He says he's already on number 3.
What TV channel said. I would love to do that TV channel, except we cannot because we still like to be on YouTube.
That's crazy. TV, if we did that on camera, we would not be. This stream would be shut down by YouTube. Good stuff. Good stuff, man.
Platinum, you are right. There's a little burn on this, not as much as your normal tequila, because it's Patron, so it's a little smoother.
Yeah, Patron is a little bit smoother, is what I've heard.
But there is.
For those of you that don't know the channel, I don't drink alcohol. So when we do these shots, I do fake tequila shots.
I just spilled. I owe another one because I spilled.
Coop spilled in the studio. Are the computers good?
Yeah, we're fine.
All right.
I'll add another one to my total, so that's 8.
Ali is here. Everybody say what's up to Ali. Got nothing in the chat. We got Father Dismas. He says alcohol abuse. Well, you blame Platinum 666 for that. Platinum says, Jack, that is very impressive. That I don't drink alcohol.
I agree.
Honestly, it's not that hard for me. It's not something I have to fend off because I don't know. It's just I don't like the taste of it. I have some family stuff with that as well. That I won't get into here, but there's definitely I have my reasons. Let's just put it that way, okay? So I appreciate your guys' support. We got a bunch of people in the chat, still about 300 people watching live. Yinzers. So that's all great stuff, man. So Dominic is asking me, Jack, how about that read from Corey Trice's interception? Yeah, man. I thought that he played great yesterday, Coop. He was playing as the starting dime backer. When Dante went out, it looked like he might have lost his breath. Thank God he's okay. I thought he was injured yesterday. Sounds like he's going to be all right. But when Corey came in the stead of Dante Jackson, he played really well. Is that number 4 right there, Coop? All right, so you're gonna do 3 more at the end. 4 more?
Yeah, because I spilled. If you spill a shot, you owe another one.
Oh, okay. I don't drink, so I didn't know that rule.
Oh yeah.
All right. So let's get this going right now. I want to answer this question first, though. Pittsburgh Steelers fan 8 says, Jack, what do you think we will get if we trade Broderick? First of all, I don't think we're going to trade Broderick Jones. I think that they're going to bench him, and they're going to try to develop him. But remember, Dan Moore Jr. is on the final year of his contract. I think what their plan is that they're just going to have, or what I would do.
You think they'll let him walk, Dan Moore?
It depends on just how good his season is. If he's like a top 10 tackle in football, then maybe you don't risk him leaving and you re-sign him. But you spent a first-round pick on Broderick Jones, and they still do believe in his future. So I think what's best for the team now and what's best for the team long-term is that you set Broderick now and you have him make a full-time commitment in practices on the left side. Now, if Fautanu gets hurt, you can plug him back in at right tackle. He has some experience there. But, them having him go back and forth is just hurting his development.
Cassie says check your text messages.
Check my yes, Cassie, we can. Yes, we can. Okay, so let's get into this week 3 preview. If you guys know anything about me, I'm a football nerd, all right? So I really take pride in these previews, okay? So I put a lot of work into these. I can't wait to show it off to you guys right now, man, because I think this is going to be a lot of fun this weekend, a lot of fun matchups to talk about in this football game. 2-0 teams battling it off in the Berg, baby. Let's talk about it right here on Steelers Talk. The Pittsburgh Steelers will play the Los Angeles Chargers in their home opener here in week 3 of the NFL season here. Two teams here that are starting the season 2-0. One of these two teams is going to be sitting at 3-0 to start their 2024 campaign. Which team is it going to be? You're going to have to stick around for my score prediction at the end of today's Steelers Talk preview. But before we get into keys to victory, key players for the Chargers, what the Chargers like to do schematically, a full breakdown of this Week 3 matchup, make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now for our live watch party. We're going to be going live at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, all right, where we're going to have an hour of pregame, full play-by-play live on the show, and then, of course, post-game coverage as well. So we have the largest Steelers watch parties on the YouTube platform. Over 100,000 people tend to watch our show every single week. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now to join the largest Steelers live community here on the YouTube platform. So let's get into this matchup, man. A battle of 2-0 teams that maybe a lot of people didn't expect to be 2-0 at this point. Now, the Chargers have played two really bad teams, the Las Vegas Raiders and the Carolina Panthers, who, by the way, just benched their starting quarterback in Bryce Young after 2 games. That's how bad that team is playing right now. So maybe the Chargers are a little bit fluky, but they are a 2-0 team. They have played very well through their first 2 games under Jim Harbaugh, their new head coach. Of course, he's coming fresh off a national championship season with the Michigan Wolverines, coming over to the Chargers here. Now, the offensive scheme is a modern pro spread offense run by Greg Roman. He's been with the Harbaughs for a long time, going back to the 49ers, and then he went over to the Raiders with John Harbaugh. So, the Steelers are familiar with this offensive scheme, all right? It's really, really well done in the running game, but the passing game leaves something to be desired, at least in my opinion. Then we get to the defensive scheme here, and Jesse Minter, their defensive play caller, he's going to run a variation of the Mike McDonald 3-4 defense that we saw from Baltimore last year, and now, of course, Mike McDonald had so much success with Baltimore's defense last year, his best defense in football, that he goes on to be the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. So this is a defense here that has played very well through the first 2 games. Now, obviously, you play 2 of arguably the worst offenses in the league in Carolina and Las Vegas. We'll start with this Raiders game here in Week 1 where they won 22-10. Offense kind of took a while to get going. This was a 1-possession game in the 4th quarter, all right? So I know it's a double-digit victory in the final box score here, but at the end, the Raiders almost came away with the win in this one, guys, and that's with Gardner Minshew, no run game whatsoever. Really does seem like the Chargers it took them a little bit there to get something going offensively. Then last week, it was just a complete mowdown of the Panthers, who have just been so bad to start this season. Justin Herbert was efficient, 2 touchdowns, but he did throw an interception, and J.K. Dobbins had over 130 yards rushing in that one. So 2 games there against 2 bad opponents. So maybe this is a bit fluky here for this Chargers team, but you take a look at the offensive pieces here, man. Justin Herbert is a bona fide top 10 quarterback in football. We'll talk about him in my scouting report later. J.K. Dobbins, I mean, the Steelers are familiar with him with his time in Baltimore. He seems to be back fully healthy, and he's been really good to start this season. They got a really good tackle duo in Rashawn Slater, one of the best left tackles in football, and Joe Alt, a top 5 pick in the NFL draft this year, who has just been unbelievable to start his career. Then Quentin Johnson has 2 touchdowns, got 2 touchdowns last week, and then Ladd McConkey is a receiver that I'm very high on that they drafted this year. And I'm going to be keeping my eye on Ladd McConkey in this one because I'm pretty sure Joey Porter Jr. can take away Quentin Johnson pretty easily. But my problem and my issue here is going to be, can Ladd McConkey just toast Beanie Bishop Jr. in the slot? I think he can, which is why I think the Steelers might do a lot of 3 safety packages in this game, get to Sean Elliott on Ladd McConkey, but McConkey is shifty. He's very good from the slot, really, really good route runner. You got to keep your eye on Ladd McConkey in this matchup. Then on the defensive side of the ball, their key defensive pieces, Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, really, really good edge rusher duo. I make no mistake, Khalil Mack isn't necessarily what he was in his prime, but he's still a very good player. Derwin James, their strong safety, is an excellent player as well. Christian Fulton has had a very good start as their number 1 corner to start this year. Then Elijah Molden, their free safety, maybe not a name that most people know, but he is the number 1 graded safety according to Pro Football Focus grading to this point. He's had an excellent start to his 2024 campaign. And what you need to expect from this Los Angeles Chargers team is that you're going to get physicality, all right? This is going to be very much a physical football team on both sides of the ball. They're going to try to ground and pound. Honestly, this Chargers team reminds me a lot of the Pittsburgh Steelers, where they try to establish the run, they try to play good defense, and they hope that their quarterback makes enough plays to win them the football game. So this is a very, very interesting matchup here of two very similar football teams that I can't wait to watch on Sunday this weekend. So still to come here on the Steelers Talk Preview, keys to victory versus the Los Angeles Chargers. We'll get into that. I have, I believe, 8 of them today. Then we'll get into Justin Herbert's scouting report. I'll let you guys know the pros and cons with his game, what the Steelers need to do to slow him down. Then we'll go into my official Week 3 score prediction. Will the Steelers get to 3-0? I'll give you guys my answer at the end of today's show. But before we get into all that, let's have word from our sponsor here at Prize Picks, which is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike other apps on your phone, on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you have to do is pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and then watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become a part of the Prize Picks community today. Just one Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on Prize Picks for every week in the month of September. That's right, only 1 passing yard from Caleb Williams gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. That means 4 weeks of free W's, but now that just means 2 weeks because you've already missed the first 2 weeks. Don't miss this deal on Prize Picks because once September ends, it is gone. Also, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Here is my projection here. Heading into Monday Night Football tonight, I did take the more on Caleb Williams passing yards, so that's gonna be an obvious hit there. Then we got Jalen Hurts taking the more on passing yards and taking the more on Drake London receiving yards tonight. Eagles versus Falcons. You guys can get your picks in right now. If you haven't already, download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. So it's 6 keys to victory here, not 8, like I said earlier. But the first one here is they got to light up Justin Herbert. Okay, and this is something that the Steelers have done extremely well to start this season. They faced Kirk Cousins and Bo Nix, and they have done a fantastic job getting pressure on the quarterback and quick pressure, really forcing mistakes, forcing inaccurate passes. This pass rush is the best in football, in my opinion. But this week, man, they're facing a good offensive line, and they're facing a damn good quarterback here in Justin Herbert, man. Excellent size, 6'6", 236 pounds. He looks the part of an NFL franchise quarterback through and through. The arm strength is arguably the best in football right now. Like, this guy can just make throws that most people can't even dream of making. The playmaking outside of the pocket is really good as well. And then he's also a plus athlete. He's not necessarily a guy you're going to design a quarterback run game for, but he's somebody that can scamper for extra yardage if nothing is there, so you have to keep an eye on him. The cons are the pocket presence. I do think his footwork can get maybe a little bit choppy at times. It's not always the cleanest in the world, and he doesn't always feel pressure the best, which works in the Steelers' favor, getting some sacks and potentially some strip sack fumbles. I do think he's a top 10 starting quarterback in the National Football League, but the biggest weakness of this Chargers offense is the lack of passing game creativity from offensive coordinator Greg Roman. And he has never really been able to design a proper passing attack in the National Football League. He's known as one of the best run game coordinators in the league, and he absolutely is that, but he's had a lot of trouble with cover zero throughout his time as an offensive play caller. He doesn't do a really good job timing up concepts for his quarterbacks. He makes things very difficult on his QB, which is one of the reasons why he was fired in Baltimore, and Todd Monken, their new Ravens OC, immediately made that offense better for Lamar Jackson. So what I would do is I would do what Brian Flores, a former Steelers coach here, did against the Ravens when Greg Roman was still the OC there for the Ravens, and just blitz the hell out of him. Give him that cover zero look that he runs in Minnesota all the time, where everybody's playing back, so they have the leverage, but they're putting everybody at the line of scrimmage, and they're forcing them to make a play. And they're forcing Greg Roman to give Justin Herbert answers against the cover zero blitz, because throughout his career, he hasn't been able to do that. So if I am the Steelers, I'm pulling out those files from the Brian Flores era where he brought his cover zero stuff, and I would bring those to the forefront in this football game here, put pressure on Justin Herbert, and light him up. Another key to victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers this week is to contain the run. Just like the Steelers, the Chargers offense really wants to get the run game going. And that starts with J.K. Dobbins, their running back, who has been unbelievable to start this season. Over 13 yards a carry for this guy to start his 2024 campaign. He has 2 touchdowns. He really had a fantastic game, both against the Raiders and also against the Panthers. He's been unbelievable to start this year. He is a little bit injury prone, but when he's on the field, he is a legitimate number 1 running back in this league, and he is running behind a very, very good Chargers offensive line. Any Harbaugh team, they're going to be built in the trenches. They're going to want to play physical. They're going to want to run the football, and this is an offensive line that fits Harbaugh's philosophy. Rashawn Slater's awesome. Zion Johnson is a really good guard, in my opinion. Bradley Bozeman, not quite as good, but when you're surrounded by 2 good guards like the Chargers have, you're going to be just fine. And Joe Alt, I cannot wait to see that matchup between TJ Watt, the best pass rusher on the planet Earth today, versus Joe Alt, somebody that's going to be one of the best tackles in this league for a very long time. Now, I'm going to give the advantage to Watt in this matchup because Alt is so young. He is still learning, and he has not faced a guy like TJ Watt in his life, and he's going to learn on Sunday. But, man, I cannot wait to see that matchup unfold this week when these 2 juggernauts collide this week. Then we get to the other side here and another big matchup for this football game, and that's Joey Bosa, the Chargers' number 1 edge rusher, who is awesome in his own right. He is a legit number 1 edge rusher, and he's going to be going up against another rookie tackle, all right? So on both sides of the ball here, you're going to have a rookie right tackle going up against a veteran number 1 edge rusher. So will Troy Fautano hold up against Joey Bosa? That's going to be a big question in this football game. I can't wait to see if Troy can hold up after giving up no pressures in week 2. Then we get to the 4th key to victory here, and that's to feed George Pickens. Okay, I think the Chargers have good corners. I don't think they have a true lockdown number 1, which tells me George is going to have his opportunities to make big plays happen here. He's going to be going up against, most of the time, their number 1 corner, Christian Fulton. And I think Fulton's played well to this point, but he hasn't seen anybody like George Pickens to this point. Let's be completely honest with you. He's seen Devontae Adams, sure, but nobody on the Raiders can get him the football, okay? I think Justin Fields is capable of getting the ball to George Pickens, and I just think this is going to be a tough day for Christian Fulton, who's had a really good start to his 2024 campaign. 5th key to victory here. You got to win the turnover battle because I do think this one's going to be tight, all right? So a turnover, multiple turnovers from Justin Fields could really sink the Steelers' hopes of winning this football game. If you win the turnover battle, that's going to give this team an advantage. That's something that's a must this week, in my opinion. Then the final key to victory, you have to make, quote-unquote, the play in the 4th quarter. Now, what I mean by that is whether that's a big turnover, whether that's a big sack in a big moment, whether that's a big touchdown drive. You got to make the play in the 4th quarter to come away with the victory. And, you know, there's a bunch of different ways you can do this, but the Steelers are really, really good at finding a way to make the play in the final frame of an NFL football game. It's why they've won so many games under Mike Tomlin in his tenure, is because he's so good at getting this team to play well when they need it most, and I expect them to do that in this one and in many games this season as well. So make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. If you want the Pittsburgh Steelers to win versus the Los Angeles Chargers here in Week 3 and improve to 3-0 to start their 2024 campaign. Now, where I'm going to go here, and I think this could go either way, but I'm going to go with the Chargers, okay? I'm going to go Chargers 21-20. I think it's going to be a very physical football game. And, you know, I do think the Steelers can win this, but I think that the Chargers with Justin Herbert versus the Steelers with Justin Fields, I like the quarterback situation there with Herbert and the Chargers just a bit more than what the Steelers have with Justin Fields. I think J.K. Dobbins is doing a really good job. I think that, you know, the Steelers feel pretty good about where they're at. And honestly, this could go either way. These two teams are so similar, and it's going to come down to who makes that big play in the fourth quarter. But at the end of the day, this is a quarterback league, and if the quarterback is responsible for making that big play in the fourth quarter, I trust Justin Herbert just a little bit more than I trust Justin Fields. So it's your turn. Let me know down there in the comments section. Predict the score of Steelers versus Chargers down there in the comments section. I got 21-20 Chargers. This prediction might change before game time once we get to Sunday. I mean, I think that this matchup is so close and highly contested that I might even change my prediction every single day this week. We'll see. But where I'm at right now, 21-20, Chargers win. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We got in-depth previews like this every single week here on Steelers Talk, breaking down every single opponent, getting you guys ready for that week's Steelers game. I appreciate your guys' support. Click that subscribe button to never miss a video. And until next time, here we go, Steelers. All right, man. Only 2 segments today, so there's been some stuff that's been going on here at Chat Sports, and it's a nice little preview. And I love doing those previews. What do you think of my score prediction, Coop? Do you think that it's going to be close? Do you think that the Steelers get to 20 points?
Yeah, I was right on the same line as you. I think I said 21-20 Steelers.
I think you said 2017 Steelers.
Yeah, 2017 Steelers. That's what I said, yeah.
And it could be that.
Yeah, I really do think this is a true toss-up game. We'll find out tomorrow more on Russell Wilson, whether their plan is to play him or not this week. If Russ is the guy this week,
it sounds like Fields is going to get one more game.
Yeah.
And then they're going to make a decision heading into Indianapolis in week 4. That's what it sounds like. That's
okay.
what I mean. Take Dulac's word with a grain of salt, but he said the Steelers are going to go with Fields for one more week, then they're going to make a decision. And honestly, it kind of feels like that's the way that they're leaning right now.
Basically, they're saying, Justin, you have one more chance to show us that you're the guy.
Yeah, and, I think that Fields has done a good job through the first 2 weeks. Okay, now he's not world-beating.
No.
Am I going to pay him $40+ million to be on his next contract based on what he's shown us? No, he is limited as a player. But 70% completion percentage, not turning the ball over. He is completing his downfield passes. He is making some big plays with his legs. He's doing enough to make this team win football games right now. Now, I am curious to see if the offense is more efficient with Russell Wilson as the starting quarterback. I still think that specter and that question I
want to know.
I want to know,
yeah.
Right? I want an answer to that question.
And the answer might be no.
And the answer may be no. We talked about it on our video earlier where Russell Wilson, maybe his inability to escape pockets and, his inability to really use his legs anymore as a part of his skill set, maybe that just sinks him. Maybe he really is just cooked. And because he's too short, he can't really survive as a true pocket passer. That's a very legitimate possibility for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
100%.
But if you're scoring less than 20 points a game, and by the way, I don't think all that's on Fields. I think some of it is on the receiving help that he has, and some of it is on the penalties that he's had to deal with.
And like you said, if the receivers aren't going to perform and you need a guy who's going to make more plays off schedule, that probably is Justin Fields.
Yeah, and it's absolutely possible that, Justin's not the best mental processor in the world. He's not the best drop-back passer. If you're losing by 10 points or more in a game,
exactly,
you're probably not going to win that football game. But he's somebody that if he continues to complete passes, if he's somebody that continues to not turn the ball over, if he's somebody that continues to manage the game that he's managing it, and you're winning football games consistently, especially if you're 3-0 coming out of this week, it's going to be really hard to move off of Justin Fields. And here's another thing, Coop. We talked about it earlier. If you take away the penalties that negated some of his biggest throws this season, the Steelers have 20 or more points in each of their first 2 games.
Dude, that throw to George Pickens, that won't count in the record books.
That throw,
one of the most impressive throws.
It's one of the best throws I've ever seen in my life. And I can legitimately say that throw that Fields had that was negated by Broderick Jones's holding penalty yesterday, rolling to his right, full speed, a defender bearing down on his back paws.
Cheers.
And then he's throwing an absolute seed to a contested receiver in George Pickens on the money. 40 yards down the field. It's one of the best throws I've ever seen any quarterback in the NFL make, ever.
It's a great throw. And that's what Fields gives you. He has the athletic ability to
there's at least one play a game where, it's just a crazy-ass play from Justin Fields that, like, no other quarterback in the league is capable of making, or very few are capable of making. Like, he is so physically gifted, all right? But, I mean, through 2 games, Justin Fields still has the longest average time to throw. And it's not like, you know, they're bombing it deep every play. Like, they're taking their shots, but he's taking a while to get to his check down.
For sure.
And it's not like the Steelers are asking him to go 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and then check down. They're asking him to do 1 read and then check down, and he is still taking longer than any other quarterback to get rid of the football. So there's certain negatives with Justin Fields, and there's certain positives with Justin Fields, and then there's certain positives with Russell Wilson and certain negatives with Russell Wilson. So it'll be interesting to see how the Steelers weigh all of these things. I don't think any of the 2 options is like you're going to win an MVP with either quarterback.
Oh, agreed.
But, like, it's just a matter of what quarterback can you win more games to here. B-Shep, 23, $2 super chat says, this is music to my ears, go Steelers. And B-Shep, man, you guys know, you know, man, even when I've been advocating for Russ, I try to be fair. I try to be objective. I try to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly on both guys, all right? And, you know, there's definitely negatives to playing Russell Wilson and going to him. And there's negatives to go sticking with Justin Fields, but there's positives for both guys as well. And the fact of the matter is we just don't know what this offense looks like with Russell Wilson.
We haven't seen it.
He was initially named the starting quarterback, so the burden of proof is on Justin Fields to undeniably prove that he is the best option for the team if he's going to be the full-time starter. So Coop's got some shots to get to here. We got over 300 people watching right now.
The Yinzas.
This is an unbelievable show right now, guys. So before we say goodbye for the day, let's talk a little Monday Night Football tonight. It is Falcons versus Eagles. Obviously,
how about the Falcons getting 2 straight primetime games? They're on Sunday night next week.
Yeah, they are. Who are they playing next week?
Chiefs.
They are getting toasted in that game.
Destroyed. No A.J. Brown tonight.
Is it at Arrowhead? It's not right, because Chiefs have had 2 straight home games. They don't start the year with 3 straight homes. Yeah, it's got to be in Atlanta, because Atlanta's on the road in this one. So some interesting stuff in this game, guys. Obviously, I think Atlanta should have only scored 3 points in their game against the Steelers.
The refs gave them points.
The refs gave them a touchdown by a bad call on an offsides from T.J. Watt, and that would have resulted in a forced fumble and recovery by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Atlanta did not have a good week offensively week 1. But how much do we chalk that up, Coop, to the Steelers defense just being elite?
Look, man, I think the Steelers defense is top 3, maybe top 1 defense in the NFL.
It is unbelievable. Awesome. It is awesome. It really is. And, you know, you look at the Falcons, I still think they have a good offensive line. I think Zach Robinson, I still kind of believe in him. You know,
I do too.
We'll see what it looks like tonight. Obviously, they're going up against another talented defense in the Philadelphia Eagles. Vic Fangio is there. They got some very young players in the secondary, so we'll see how those guys hold up. No A.J. Brown tonight.
A.J. Brown. Yeah,
so that is a big loss for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Devontae Smith tonight. And honestly, man, I kind of like the secondary for Atlanta. A.J. Terrell with going up one-on-one against Devontae Smith. I like that matchup for Atlanta.
The 2 safeties,
and then you got the two safeties that are playmakers for Atlanta. So you know what, man? I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons to win a close one tonight, 23-20. I think a lot of people are expecting Eagles because Atlanta's offense really didn't play well, but I'm chalking that up to Steelers dominance more than Atlanta incompetence. I think that Bijan, we're going to see him get fed a lot tonight again.
He might get another 30 touches tonight.
And I just think that the Falcons, you know, I think they come away with the victory against a Eagles team that didn't look super buttoned up in their Week 1 win against Green Bay and São Paulo. But you have a slightly different opinion here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles. I still think they have enough to get it done against the Falcons with Jalen Hurts, with Devontae Smith. They got to get their running game going a little bit as well. It was pretty ineffective against the Steelers, if I remember correctly. So they're going to have to do that. But like you said, this Steelers defense is special.
Steelers defense is special, man. And I'm really excited to see this matchup this week against the Chargers because you get 2 teams that are very similar to one another. Yes. And there's a lot of really, really cool matchups. number one edge rusher going up against rookie right tackles on both sides of the ball.
Fautanu and Bosa.
Fautanu was awesome last week, and then Alt's been awesome through the first 2 weeks. So that's going to be an awesome matchup. And then you got George Pickens against Christian Fulton, who has done a very good job to start this season. But this ain't Adam Thielen, man.
No,
this is George freaking Pickens that you have to go up against.
People just forget about George Pickens when you're naming like top receivers in the league. This guy's a dog. People forget. When you think of top receivers in the league, people don't name George Pickens in that category.
Yeah, they don't, man. And the reason
is
because the Steelers aren't in the upper echelon of like explosive offenses.
Yeah.
So like when they think explosive offense, their mind automatically goes to Cincinnati. They go to Minnesota. They go to Niners. They go Miami. And they go to those receivers and those teams that score 30 plus points a game. And, they kind of forget about a guy like George Pickens, who is kind of in a old school running style of offense, but he is such a key part in this offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, some of the catches that this brother makes is just unfreaking believable. He cooked Pat Surtain one-on-one, one of the best lockdown man-to-man corners in football multiple times.
Yeah.
He was awesome in week 2. He was great in week 1 as well, obviously. And I think George Pickens is a legit number 1. Now the big question is who's going to emerge as that number 2? Will Roman Wilson be able to do that right away in his NFL career? Listen, man, how do you think about Roman Wilson? I think that's a big storyline heading into this week.
They need to get him healthy and get him healthy quick. Now it sounds like they're leaning towards him playing this week?
Yeah, he almost played this week.
Yeah, so
he was a game-time decision this past week.
Hopefully he's in there for the game against the Chargers. They need it, man. We showed you the stat. 5 receptions for 28 yards on non-George Pickens receivers.
And by the way, that's not counting Muth. Muth has
I
think Muth has 8 or 9 catches, and he's picked up some first downs. He's been pretty good.
He's been the second receiver.
He's been solid, but
they
need a number 2 receiver bad. I was willing to give Van Jefferson a shot just because the Steelers felt like he was they invested in him early in free agency.
Hey,
they liked him a lot. He has not been good.
There's a certain receiver in Carolina that may be available at the trade deadline.
We are not getting Deontay Johnson back. He might get traded. He will not get traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think the Steelers.
That bridge is burnt.
The Steelers were tired of him.
The Steelers were tired of him. That's the other thing. I don't think the Steelers want him back.
They don't want him back.
They traded him for a player that was going to get cut anyway in Dante Jackson.
Yeah, they do not want him
You know what I'm saying? And I like Dante. I think he's been awesome. But, you could have had him for free. Yeah. Why'd you have to trade your number 1? And by the way, if you don't make that trade, Brandon Ayuk is a Pittsburgh Steeler right now. God, I'm getting angry at the end of during Thanks,
My
Coop.
bad. That's on me.
But listen, man, Roman Wilson didn't have a training camp this year pretty much.
No, yeah,
He got hurt during 7 shots on the first padded practice. So he has had no padded practice experience except for last Thursday.
No block, no rock, baby.
But, man, I love his no block, no rock. I got to get a T-shirt with no block, no rock on it.
Cool.
That'd be freaking sweet, man. But I loved his skill set coming out. I put him in a bunch of Steelers mock drafts this year during our draft coverage. I think he has Pittsburgh Steeler written all over him, and we know the Steelers have a good track record with these receivers, right?
Yes.
We know that they have a great track record with drafting receivers, okay? And I think that Roman Wilson, he showed out in the Senior Bowl. He was one of, if not the best, pure route runners in the draft this year.
I think in a perfect world, Roman was your number 3 this year, and you would have gotten a number 2
absolutely, yeah. I think that's absolutely the case because, relying on a rookie receiver to be it's a stretch,
Yeah,
especially one that missed pretty much the entire preseason. In fact, he did
is.
miss the entire preseason, and he's missed the first 2 games of the year. So there's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of pressure being put on Roman Wilson. But, hey, man, pressure makes diamonds. If he comes out and he is legitimately this team's number 2 receiver, he will get so much love and so much praise and so much adoration from this fan base.
He's a Tomlin guy.
And he is a Tomlin guy. He's known Tomlin since high school.
Yeah.
So, this guy was born to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I have a very good feeling about him. And I think if he plays on Sunday, and it sounds like he will, that's going to be a lot of good news for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Shout out Vibing with the Dogs. $2 super chat says 2-0.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Appreciate you guys. That's going to be it for today's show. We're going to say goodbye for the day. Thursday, we will be going live again, same time on Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to have all the cuts for you guys, all the segments, and I think we're going to have at least 2 segments, maybe 3. Plus, we're going to try to do a Madden game. And we're going to try some of you guys, all right? So make sure on Thursday, if you're at home, have your PlayStation or whatever next to you. We might try to play some people in Madden on Thursday. We'll see what happens, though. And then, of course, Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern is our Week 3 watch party. This is going to be a fun game.
I can't wait.
Like this game, some of the matchups in this game, I literally can't wait. And, man, if Justin Fields can outduel Justin Herbert and this very physical Los Angeles Chargers team, you stick with him as your QB1.
I agree.
Plain and simply.
Cassie says, don't forget the PS5. Thing is, we have one here at the office.
Yeah, so we had a certain source here at Chat Sports tell us no PS5 in the building.
We won't divulge who that is.
We won't divulge who that is, but apparently we do have a PS5 here, so I don't need to bring my personal one in
just
anymore.
Your controller.
Just my controller. Okay, man, that's going to be it for today's show. I appreciate all of your guys' support. We'll see you guys on Thursday for Steelers Talk Live, and until then, here we go, Steelers.
Adios.